Welcome to Real Talk Twin Cities. This is your host, Cheryl Kempenich with Coldwell Banker Burnet, along with my co-host,
Eric Pirius, Eric the Lone Guy, Bell Mortgage.
We are here every Sunday evening at 6 p.m. bringing you local expert advice on all things real estate. You can reach us anytime at our website, realtalktwincities.com, or call or text 612-735-0553. That's 612-735-0553. When you think of real estate, think of us. How important is the mortgage interest deduction to you? Did you know we are at risk of losing it? What is the impact to you? You will hear the latest update on this important issue from our local expert, Christine Berger, Vice President of Political Affairs at the Minnesota Board of Realtors, in a few minutes. But first, we're going to talk about some news. With us today are Donna Quanrud and Ryan Kempenich of the local agent team.
Great to be here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for being here. And Donna, can you start us out with the September market statistics?
Yeah, they're finally in. New listings are up 7.2%. Pending sales are down 1.3%. Closed sales are down 7.1%. And the average sale price in the metro area, $250,816. And we're seeing inventory up 8.2%. So I'm thinking now that since the investors are leaving the marketplace, this is going to be a real benefit to our first-time home buyers. But we still have some issues with the student debt and sluggish wage growth. That's kind of slowed that transition. But great time, a lot of inventory. Get out there if you're especially a first-time home buyer. But like what we're seeing.
It's really positive news to see that the prices are still up from the beginning of the year. And one thing I want to mention too is the downtown markets and what's going on there. We talked about the median sale price, and for downtown St. Paul, the median sale price, which is primarily the condo market, $213,000, compared to the median sale price downtown Minneapolis at $262,500. It seems like there's quite a gap there between the two cities, but it's really nothing when you consider New York. Brooklyn, the median sale price hit a record in the third quarter. So Brooklyn, New York is now at $587,515.
Wow.
That's an 8.8% increase.
Cheryl, did you, in doing your research, 587 is a lot. I'm sure when you say that number, people around here start thinking, 5,000 square foot, 5-bedroom, 4-car garage in Eden Prairie. Did you have any idea what that 587 is? That your typical, 3-bedroom Rambler type, or?
Not even. These are very small, modest condominiums that are located in Brooklyn.
Huh.
The same thing in Manhattan. There, the median sale price, $908,000. This is huge. One of my clients has a home here and a home in New York, and she just went through the buying experience there. And a little tiny apartment, they call them there, they're not condominiums, they're apartments in New York, but $700,000 for 700 square feet.
Wow.
Very, very small. And one of the things that's happening, because the prices are so high in some of these communities, we see the same thing happening in California, is non-couples are electing to live together. So you might have a home with 3 or 4 people all sharing the expenses because they can't afford home ownership. Ryan, maybe you could speak to this.
Yeah, I've had roommates for probably about 10 years now.
Tell us a little bit about the house that you have.
Well, we bought an old Victorian in St. Paul from the 1800s, and it's got tons of rooms. It's pretty much similar to The Money Pit, if you've ever seen that movie.
How many square foot is it?
About 5,000.
So you've got 3 floors of living space?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty fun. I get to hang out with my brother and get to see the little nieces, and the kids really love it.
Well, that home was actually divided in probably the 1950s or so into 5 separate apartments for college students, right?
Yep, Hamilton University.
Yeah, and you still have all of those historic mailboxes in the front entry.
You know.
Yeah, I've seen when the mail comes, it's a zoo.
Yeah.
But it is a great home, and it's wonderful that you've been able to help so many friends and family members when they're having financial problems, and you've reached out to them and given them a place to live, and they get their act together, and then they can move on and buy a house.
Yeah, that's right. And they also help out with the painting and cleaning and everything else that comes with the big
Sweat
house.
equity.
Yeah, and you need that there.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
So another positive note is that Minnesota job vacancies have hit a 13-year high, up 16.7% over last year. That's 84,696 vacancies in the second quarter of 2014. It's the largest number of job openings in years. So this could be great news for all of those college students that haven't been able to find a job. And what we're hoping too is they find that job, get those tax returns done, and in the spring they're going to be ready to start looking for their first home.
And inventory's up, as Donna mentioned earlier. Do you expect that might continue, say, into the spring, or the inventory increase?
You know, it's really hard to say what will happen with the inventory. This time of year, we're not seeing a lot of new listings go on the market, and a lot of change of life buyers are out there. Typically, the young families with kids in school, they're going to start buying in the late spring, early summer. So this time of year, we've got a lot of change of life going on. Marriages, death, divorce, investors. So the inventory will drop a little bit, but then after the first of the year, it'll pick right back up. So it's a great time for investors or to get a good deal.
So if I hear you correctly, you're saying that with these change of life folks, potentially there could be some deals out there which would make it a good time to buy. You know, if you're moving or maybe getting divorced, something like that, that's a buyer advantage, wouldn't you say?
I think so. We're not running into multiple offers as much this time of year
Okay.
versus the spring in Minnesota after the snow starts melting. It just gets crazy. It's a
Okay.
frenzy.
We also start to see people putting their houses on the market with relocation, job transfers during this time of year. With the major employers that we have, a lot of them will bring new positions on at the first of the year. So a lot of these people will start putting their homes on the market or get ready to do that.
Yeah, I would really encourage anybody who's thinking about buying a home, if you can buy without selling, to start looking now. And then in
Agreed.
the same breath, we're going to think about getting ready to put your home on the market in the spring. Before we talk about that, I just wanted to mention one more thing, Eric, that might be of interest to you. Hennepin County plans to increase bikeways by 536 miles. Ramsey County
Wow.
has plans to increase bikeways by 195 miles. And one thing I thought was pretty interesting is downtown St. Paul is considering a bike lane on Jackson Street running from 11th all the way down to the river, and on the greenway, adding a greenway alongside the light rail for pedestrians on 4th Street. So this could solve some problems for our home buyers looking to move into the city that can't find their 2 parking spaces in condos because it's pretty much non-existent. Eric, you're an avid biker.
Yes.
How do you feel about commuting to work?
Well, I've done it before. My brother-in-law lives across the street with my sister and her 2 children. He commutes to work every day about 12 miles and has we bought cars roughly the same time, and I've got 30,000 on mine, he's got 9,000 on his. And it's because of commuting, and it works out fine. He loves it. I know a lot of people that commute. It's I think we have one of the highest in the country percentage of workers that commute. It's good for health, saves money, doesn't put miles on your car, and there's also a culture around it, particularly in the Greenway through Minneapolis. If you take a tour through the Greenway, you'll see there's shops, restaurants, there's a bike shop, right on the Greenway, and it's a very interesting culture that's developing around biking. And if they're putting in, combined over 700 more miles of bike paths, we already have an incredible amount. I think we're second to Portland or something like that. So that's quite a viable lifestyle attribute to living either downtown St. Paul or Minneapolis.
And you know, the other thing I've noticed too, with some of the new buildings going up in the city, in addition to having dog washing areas, they're now having bike washing stations as well. And I think that is
Wow.
part of the city's plan, is to eliminate some of the parking and encourage people to start biking.
And the green bikes, you've seen those, which you can,
I've actually
Nice ride.
ridden those.
yeah?
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. They're everywhere. You grab a bike, jump on, ride around to the next station, and
Now, do you need snow tires in the winter for your bike?
Definitely. Snow bike, I have one, the big 5-inch tires. It's a lot of fun, and people do continue to commute through the winter. Although the numbers drop, you have to be a fairly hardy soul. But trust me, at 10 below, you'll see people out there. So So you're saying, Cheryl, that people that might need 2 parking spaces now because of this bike culture could maybe get away with having a car, and save money, improve their health, and get into biking. Perhaps is that kind of what you're getting at?
absolutely, and then save some money by not having to purchase that second parking space if it's
Right.
available.
Right.
Okay, well, we are going to be taking a break here in a minute, and just want to remind you that Donna, Ryan, and I are all members of the local agent team. We're real estate experts with over 50 years of combined experience all over the Twin Cities area. We'd love to help you buy or sell your next home or investment property. And if you would like a free home market analysis or buyer consultation, you can call or text at 612-735-0553.